Hey, what's up everyone? Upstart here with RyXe Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, at the time of the making of this video, update number 3 has already been released on the experimental branch. So, I really do want to get to that, but in the stable branch where we're still on the update 2, we still left off without showing off some, like, one of the main things, and that was the nuclear power. So what I wanted to do first, I already have the materials on hand. I'm gonna unlock the nuclear power milestone. I'm gonna show it off a little bit, and then we're gonna jump into the experimental branch with update number 3, and we're gonna look at what has broken. Spoiler, well, not spoiler, just little, hint. I've already gone through it. I've already checked into it because I was eager to, I couldn't wait. So I was eager to check it out, and yeah, my factory completely destroyed. Well, not in the physical sense, more like just like it doesn't work anymore. It's completely broken, as the community manager Jace was saying that if you had a big factory, you're gonna have big problems. You're gonna have a small factory, you're gonna have small problems. Yeah, I saw why. But anyways, I don't want to make this too long because I want to try and cover the nuclear plus whatever is broken in the update number 3 in the same episode. So let's get a move on. So let's start off with throwing all these things in here and unlocking nuclear power. Just a heads up, if you could, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little sick right now. I've been sick for a few days with the cold, but I'm getting better now. It's just my right now. It's just kind of a bit of coughing and well, I'm slightly congested, not as much right now. Right now it's just mainly the throat. So yeah. Anyways, let's launch the pod.
Milestone reached. With the provided buildings and parts, you can now set up nuclear power generation, which balances an increase of fuel production complexity with improved power output. Protective measures against radiation have been included. Note: this method of power generation creates nuclear waste.
And that's why I never want to use it. I'll show it off, but that's about it. So I don't know what I need to make all that. So let's start with one. I really don't want to deal with more than one, especially because it uses a supercomputer. So we're gonna have to make that right now. What else did we unlock? Nothing in here. Foundation, no. I think it's all just in the equipment shop. Or equipment workshop. Let's see. So the hazmat suit. I'm not gonna deal with making a hazmat suit or any of these things. Especially because I gotta make that. I'll take the radiation damage for now. I'll stay away. I'll do everything from afar. I'll run in there, like kamikaze, and just consume my nuts. Anyways, I got some powder, spiky bar, this thing. I think I need to have the gas mask to be able to use that right there. Yeah, kind of obvious, straightforward. So I'm gonna get all these materials together, and you know what? I think I'll just make it just for fun, I guess. Let's add that. We'll make a hazmat suit. We'll make a gas mask just to, have these things on us. I think I'll just need one of each, and then let's put 10, not 11, 10. I'll go ahead and get all these materials together, get everything crafted, except for, of course, the nuclear power plant. And then I think I'll go grab some... You know what? First I'm gonna grab everything, and then I'll be right back with you all. Alright, everyone. So we've got all the materials, and I already made the things I needed, at least for this first part. So let's go into our inventory. I'll leave the gas mask alone for now, but let's put on that hazmat. I don't think I need it right now, actually. You know what? Let's take it off. The jetpack. Well, hopefully I won't fall, so let's go with that. So let's go nuclear power plant. Like, come here, somewhere. Yeah, I think here's fine. So I guess I would want the entrance and the exit on the same side. I guess we'll do that. And I'll remove that from my hand. Okay. So it's pretty big. It's not working, so I think that's why there's no uranium in it. Like the power plant, in and of itself, isn't radioactive. So let's go up here. So that's pretty cool. Oh, I think that's gonna hurt. Yeah, I forgot I didn't have my jetpack. What an idiot. Okay, so I know I need the uranium fuel rods, but I don't know how to make that. I'll check real quick. So before, I kind of remember you were able to go like into the thing. I think there's a new model for this. So anyways, the nuclear fuel rod, I don't think I can craft that manually. Come on, not inside. Because the uranium cell is there, but I don't see like the fuel rod itself. I think it's probably... I wonder if it's an assembler? Oh, I need all these things, okay. Hold on 1 minute. 1 second. Alright, so I figured out what I needed. I need to make the uranium fuel rod in the manufacturer, which, you know, I had to go and check. They don't let me output it. Nobody knows. Well, doesn't matter. The thing it's asking for is uranium cell, 25 of those, electromagnetic control rod, 5 of those, and 25. And what was the other thing it needed? I think it was like uranium something. Just put that there. Hope it doesn't hurt that bad. Oh, and encased industrial beams. So I knew it was something that I already had, so I just forgot about it. So the encased industrial beams, that's just to pretty much encase it. So 25 uranium cell. To make 25, well, you know, I need half of that. So I was thinking about, you know what? I'll go double. So I need to be able to make 50 and 10 of these, and you know, I just need 6 of that. So I need 2,250 pieces of uranium. So at first I was thinking, you know what? I'll just try to stay away from the radiation. Where is it? At first I thought, you know what, I'll just look for some of those outcroppings that I've seen around, and it'd be enough. When I saw this number on the to-do list here, I was like, I think I'm gonna need something else. So what I'm gonna go ahead and well, first I had to come and find some uranium. This is the one closest to me. It's right over there. I just had to like jump down from my sky hub over here, and then just go a little off to like the left side. Yeah, around there. So my sky hub is somewhere in that direction, and I had to jump over this way. So what I'm gonna do is just get a little setup going, so I can get all that uranium, and I'll just make I'll make the fuel rods here. So I'm gonna do that right now, and I'll see you all in a little bit. Alright everyone, so after who knows how long of trying to get this you know, set up, I got stuff going all over the place. I got a container there, got miner over there, I got an assembler up top, and then I got this manufacturer right there still, and then I got a little what's it called, a little generator area kind of thing going over here. I got 2 generators all maxed out, all going, but that was not the issue. The main issue was trying to keep myself alive, because this doesn't go down very fast if you're far away, but once you start getting close, where like radiation level peaks, it goes down pretty quickly. And well, long story short, I died a few times, so I had to reload back to a save where I wasn't sent all the way back to the hub, because I could just not make my way back. I didn't want to lose all my things, so yeah. So I have one nuclear fuel rod done, and I have another one just almost getting done. One thing I want to correct myself, that I said something that I myself messed up, and I think I've done it. I do it to myself, you know, off camera all the time. One of the thing was that I said that we were gonna require, you know, 50, because we needed 25 uranium fuels, uranium cells to make one of the fuel rods. But yeah, I didn't look at this that says that each craft of this makes 10. So that means I would have only needed, let's see, can we do this? Oh, you know, much faster. Clear list. To get 50, I would have only needed that much. 225 and 45 concrete uranium. Yeah, 225 uranium, 45 concrete to make the 50 uranium cells, because you just need to craft it 5 times, and each time gives you 10. So yeah, that was my mistake. I do it to myself all the time. I did it to myself earlier while I was trying to get my hazmat suit, getting all the aluminum and getting all that ready. Another thing is that I thought I would need the gas mask, because you know, I kind of thought that this filter would go in the gas mask, but no, it goes in the hazmat suit. So the gas mask is of no use to me unless I have regular filters, and it's only useful in gas fields. So where is it? Over here. So yeah, that's that right there. So our second, let's see, yeah, that should be done. So we're gonna grab that. We're just gonna abandon this here. I'm just gonna leave it. It doesn't matter anymore, because we're pretty much gonna start a new game. I'm gonna keep this. We're just gonna start a new file. Look, so as you can see, with me carrying that, my hazmat radiation thing is just going down like woof. Yeah, so I had to put that back. So I'm just gonna make more of those. I'm just gonna make a ton more of those filters so I can make my way back. I need more coal, but I already know where to find some. There's some. Oh, that was the wrong thing. There's some out that way. So I'll see you all back at the power plant. All right, everyone. So after I don't know how many deaths, incidents and all this kind of stuff. I finally got the nuclear fuel rods down to where I have the power plant. Well, actually, no. I actually decided to remove it from where I had it down there and just bring it over here because dealing with this is a hassle if you don't have the hazmat suit, and even if you do have it, you cannot carry radioactive stuff in your inventory, or else the meter for the filter would just drop like crazy, and then if you don't have any, well, your health just drops even faster. So I decided to bring that here, but even if it doesn't like give off a lot of radiation, like being away from it like this, I think once it starts reacting in the power plant, I think it just gives off a ton of radiation. Oh, and about the megawatts it produces, yeah, I thought it was about 2,000, so it's 2.5k. So let's go and do that right there. Let's see how bad it is. Is it bad being like in the area? It hasn't started, so that's why it hasn't done anything. Let's watch. So that should be the fuel rod technically, right? It's not connected, so maybe that's why it's not doing anything. Let's connect it down to one of these over here. Connect it there. And it says it takes 300 seconds to burn. 300 seconds. I'm not exactly sure how long that is. Huh, so I think did they remove that? So you can be close to this and it's not producing radiation? So those are the fuel rods, and then it just... Does it reduce the nuclear waste when it like burns it all out or not? I don't know. I just know one thing. I don't like dealing with radiation. It's this whole process of just trying to get that there has been a complete and total hassle. So if you're not gonna have if you're not gonna take like the necessary precautions and like just build a whole bunch of infrastructure where you don't you stay you have the best distance or protection against the radiation, I wouldn't want to use it. And there's some nuclear waste right there. Nuclear waste is the byproduct of nuclear power plants. You gotta find a way to handle all of this. Extremely radioactive. So if I take that into my inventory, I probably will die. You know what? I think it's a bad idea. Well, it's not that bad. The nuclear fuel rod was worse, but anyways, as far as I'm concerned, I think you can't even just... Obviously, you shouldn't be able to get rid of it like that. Ah! It's gonna die. Die back in there. That's why no, I do not deal with nuclear stuff, so I'll leave that be. And I think that's pretty much it for now. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna head over to pretty much the same save, but in the experimental branch, and that would be with update 3.0. So let's go over to that. Alright, so now into the experimental build, as you can see in the top left hand corner. So first things first, since we're at the nuclear part right now, I might as well explain this part. I was reading the patch notes, going through all that good stuff, and well, one of the things is that nuclear power now requires water to run, and I think the coal generator as well. I don't know what the reason. Maybe just to make it a little more difficult to for the management and all that stuff to get. I'm not really sure why, but anyways, they did that. This one already had water anyways inside, but now you actually, since they included fluids in the game, they made it a thing. Well, then why not add it as another thing that we have to deal with to get this working. So right now it's not working. It's not doing anything. It's not moving at all. My power grid is flat right now, only 400 megawatts. That's because only the geothermal generators are still working. I haven't checked the geothermal generators if their interface has been updated. It may have, it may have not. I didn't see anything on that on the patch notes, so probably not. So this is our capacity because we have our fuel generators over there, and then we have this nuclear power plant running right now. But we're only actually producing this because something's wrong. So here it shows water, current amount, and 50 is the max, I guess. 50. I don't know if that meters cubed. I don't know how to actually say that or read that. I mean, then the consumption, it would be 300 meters cubed per minute. Now that's one thing. So right here, the waste would come out this way if I were to put a belt, but you know, I probably shouldn't do that. You know what? Just do it. Why not? Make it dangerous for myself. There it is. Nuclear waste. Let's stay away from that. So another thing is that the uranium cell has been changed for a pellet. I guess they changed the way this looked. I don't know. This could be the way it is, like the way they intended it. Or sometimes when you load in a save from an older version, like in this case, because I'm loading up a 2.0 save or an update 2 save to an update to the update 3 or a different build, usually things go wrong, and it could be that this has been changed or it's just bugged out, and instead of being straight across, it's going down. I don't know. We're not gonna pay too much attention to that. So let's head back over here with where my car is at, my hub. I got some fuel. Okay. So another change is well, since fluids or liquids have been added to the game, well, they have to change. You know, oil is a liquid. It's no longer be coming out like pre-packaged kind of thing. That's how they mentioned it, because you know, when you when it usually pumps, or before when it pumped out, it would pump out in canisters and you would be able to have it in your inventory. Now you cannot do that, and it pumps out as water. So right now, since I have or as a fluid or as a liquid, since technically down there in the oil pumps, actually they're called oil, what are they called now? Was it oil pump, or it should say here, right? Production oil extractor. Yeah, I think it was oil pump before. Now it's oil extractor. There's the water extractor, which needs to get put in deep water. I don't know if I have deep water behind me somewhere. No, not very close. But this doesn't snap to anything as far as I've tested already. You have to place it simply like in a lake. I don't know, maybe in the ocean probably. I don't know if you could do that. I haven't checked that one. But you can't put it like in a small river. It has to be deep. I don't know if it has to meet the clearance. I don't know if you guys can see it down there. That's under the foundation. It shows like a clearance under there. I don't know if it needs to clear that or not. But anyways, that's another thing. So now instead of a conveyor belt being connected to the oil extractor, it's now pipes, which I cannot make because I don't even have the material necessary for it, because I need to make a new item, a new resource that was introduced, aside from, you know, this rework of the craft bench. Where is it? Copper sheet. You know, it's pretty simple. 2 copper ingots and, you know, 3 hammers, 3 hits, and then it makes a copper sheet. So that pretty much makes the pipe. But I don't think I can make it myself. It should be in logistics. Oh, there it is, pipeline. It is there. Okay, so you probably need to start on a support or a stackable. Oh, so this is the equivalent of the conveyor pole, and I'm guessing this is the equivalent of the stackable. Pipeline, conveyor belt, pipeline junction. That would be like a splitter, I guess, and a pump. I don't know what this one's for though. 20 pressure, allowing 20 meters. Ah, I know what this is for. Okay. Okay, so I don't have anything to build with. Oh, I can build those. Guess I'll just place that there. Put one of these here, I guess, just to get something going. So they're closed off because, you know, they should be connected with pipes. So I guess that would go. I can't get it to connect anyways. So if you want to go vertical, which you can, it has a 10 meter. I don't know if it says it on here. It doesn't say. But I think it has a 10 meter limit of vertical upwards at the very least. If it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's no problem. It's going to go up, then it's going to have an issue, and it's not going to be able to like take the fluid up. Or it's not going to go up because it's not enough pressure. So I'm guessing you would have to use the pipeline pump, and I'm guessing it would need to connect to something, you know, because it uses electricity. It doesn't use much, but that would add more 20 more meters. So the at first it only has 10, and then if you need more, well, you got to keep adding more of those. Another thing is that the equipment workshop has been reworked a little bit. The model's a little different. It has a back door now, straight through it. This one looks a little different, but doesn't seem that much different. Right now the pod isn't there, but I think it's not here because it's bugged out. I think it's bugged out because of the version of the save file. So that's that. Another thing is that the MAM is no longer inside here. The MAM is now a separate building in the special buildings. I need to get some stuff. 1 second, I'm gonna grab some materials just so I can have them on hand. Alright, so the MAM, put it right over here. So that was just 5 reinforced iron plates, 15 cables, and 45 wire or copper wire. So it's changed now into something like a tech tree kind of thing. Right now it's not showing anything. I don't know if it's because of my save. We'll probably take another look at it. Well, we will, but probably in the next episode, because I want to start a new game with a new map. Well, it's not a new map. It's just a new starting area. I don't know exactly where it is. I haven't really looked into it. I don't want to like spoil myself on the area. I could probably think it's maybe over here, but who knows? I'm not sure. It's called Dusty Dunes or something like that. It's a more deserty area. It's a much more quote-unquote difficult area to start in because there's much less foliage. There's longer distances to walk or to get things, or you know, for to move materials for, you know, like logistical things like, you know, conveyor belts, laying conveyor belts, and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of interested in that. I like pretty much the Rocky Desert because it was kind of like that. Because the main thing was that it lacked foliage, or maybe it didn't lack much, but it still has some, but it lacked a lot. Which is why I don't like the jungle, because it has too much, and the grasslands, you know, it's still too much for me. So I'm gonna test that new starting area in the next episode. But anyways, it's like a tech tree now, and like I said, I don't know if things are not here because they've already been unlocked. Because it's not a new game; it's an old save. But more or less, this is how things are gonna work now. Another thing is that they're no longer, if you get alternate recipes or unlock things in the MAM, they're no longer gonna be in the milestones here. As you can see, there aren't all these like other milestones in here anymore because technically they're going to be going into that tech tree thing over there. Another thing is that some of the tier items have been moved or just separated from like a bundle milestone. I'm not exactly sure which would be an example. Maybe this one could be an example. The aluminum stuff was all in the one milestone called Bayer process, and now it's been separated. You know, the aluminum stuff from the extra stuff like the Mark III, the heatsink, turbo motor, and battery, and then just the main stuff that you need is like the Mark V conveyor belt and lift, the aluminum stuff. This is new, the aluminum scrap. The alumina solution is simply, I think it's simply just aluminum ore, but in liquid form, I think. And then the bauxite and the raw quartz scanner update kind of thing. And then the hazmat suit and the iodine infused filter has been removed from the nuclear milestones. You know, like I said, that part, the uranium cell has been changed for pellet. Still radioactive as well. Sulfuric acid, I think they said it said something that this was gonna, you know, it's a liquid. It was gonna be needed to process uranium. I don't know if you're gonna need this and that and the uranium to make this. I don't know if I have it. Where is it? If it'll show in here. Encased uranium cell that used the pellet. Maybe it just added an extra process to this instead. Yeah, it seems that way. Uranium pellet. Or maybe you need to extract your uranium, but it also requires the sulfuric acid to process it, and it's like one whole process, or maybe it's an extra process, an extra step in between to make this and then to make that. What else? While we're in here, turbo motor has, you know, they've changed the icon or the model. You know, it used to be a motor but just different color. Now it has its own thing, which definitely looks cooler. Other things doesn't look much different. The solid biofuel, instead of looking because you can actually make liquid biofuel as well. And this right here that I have is packaged fuel. Let's look at it closer. It's packaged fuel, so there is also a container which is also somewhere in one of these milestones. Gotta find it. Here are the hyper tubes, the fluid transport. There you go, empty canister. So you have to make this if you want to carry fluids or liquids like in your inventory. So here's the liquid biofuel, and then you I guess this would be the packaged one, and then packaged heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct, I think, of processing oils, the oil products or oil products. In the refinery, which requires a bunch of other it's a mess as well. It's just a rework. No, it's new things to get used to and integrate into these things. Well, it's better to start from the beginning. So yeah, the packaged water, if you want to carry water, oil, same thing. Packaged fuel, that's what I have in my inventory right here. It's no longer just regular fuel. Now it turned into packaged fuel. What else? I don't think I have anything really new in my inventory. I think that's pretty much it. So in here, let's go back down. So a solid biofuel, it lets you make it solid, but if you want to have it the other, I don't know, the canister version, well, it'll be liquid, and you'd need the empty canister or empty tank. I forget what it's called, container, and then I guess you'd package it in there. I don't know how you do that. I don't know if you need a machine to actually do that for you, or if you have the container, then you could just like go to the source and just like press E to grab it or something. I don't know. You gotta figure that out. Things to learn, things to figure out. So biomass looks pretty much the same. That looks about the same. Yeah, only the copper sheet. Nothing has really changed here. Nope, that's pretty much it. So let's see if there's any changes in here. So another one of the changes was that a lot of recipes were reworked, and a lot of milestones as well. Like I was showing you guys right now, there's nothing interesting there. things were split, things were brought down, things were moved in tier. So the milestone costs, not, I don't know if all of them changed, but some have changed, either requiring something different than it required before, or just an increase in cost. Because what they were saying is that they wanted the player to focus on automation, which is what the game is about. So instead of just manually making things, they increase costs on some things because they want the player to actually, you know, not just go into like the crafting menu and then start crafting something and then just holding it down until, you know, with, I don't know, with a phone or something. They said something about the space bar. Yeah, the space bar, and then just putting your phone on the space bar or something heavy and then just walk away and let it do its thing. They wanted the players to do the automation, which is what you're supposed to be doing. So that's why they increased the cost, so that way you can't just like speed through the milestones, and you'd have to actually automate things. A lot of wall stuff, some I think the walkways as well, things like that have been moved into the coupon shop, which was the awesome sink right here. So the awesome sink is pretty much the recycler that gives you coupons, and then the awesome shop is pretty much just where you spend those coupons. So yeah, you can see kind of more or less a decent amount of resources for being tier 2. And there's not really something you need. That's another thing that they mentioned, is that the things that were like separated from other milestones was that they were things that were not really necessary for the player at the time, and they were separated, and that's why they were just like gated behind a higher milestone cost and things like that. So smart plating is a space elevator component. There's a bunch of other ones that I don't know if they're somewhere here. There's the versatile frameworks. That these are all versatile frameworks. I don't know where the rest are, but there are a bunch of them. I don't know how many. Automated wiring, things like that. Those are all just space elevator phase parts, and they are you can't craft them manually. They are only automatable, so you have to make them in a factory or in a, you know, in a machine. You have no other options. You have to actually automate that by force. So as you know, as to integrate that into the whole theme of the game being automation. So I've already been going on for almost 20 minutes, and I haven't really showed much of my factory. And it doesn't matter that I haven't really showed much of it. I'm gonna go over to the refinery. I think that'll show or give a better idea of what's going on with my machines. Right, here we are. So I said my machines, but what I meant is mainly just like with the previous updates machines. So here, that is a pipe connection. So that's why this won't go any further, won't go in there anymore, because this needs liquid now. So if I take it out, well, I don't even have to take it out. I just have to try to drag it, and then I try to technically put it into the slot, it will take solids, it takes liquid. So if I remove that, it'll change the gauge. Will it? No, it didn't. It didn't change the gauge, but well, it needs liquid now. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't show it like those liquid meters like it did with the water on the nuclear power plant. Save. So that's why none of these fuel generators are actually producing anything. They're just chilling, doing nothing. And all I have is a bunch of packaged fuel here. So yeah, none of them are doing anything. That's why that's another reason why all my machines are off, because you know, not enough power. But another reason is because they no longer function as they should. Their connections are no longer working. So not exactly like that. The connections are they're like into the, you know, the part, but they're not connecting anymore. You know, I don't know. It's just like it moved around and it's no longer properly like connected. Like the cable's no longer inserted properly into the jack or something like that. So the refineries now take both liquids and solids. So you know what? Let me remove this part. We're not gonna get anything coming down these anyways because, well, there's no fuel anymore because they removed the crude oil item. It's been removed and it's changed for the liquid version, so it has to be a pipe. You have no other options. Bringing the crude oil into a refinery. Unless you get it packaged, which is another process, and that won't come directly. I don't think it will come directly from that pump or the extractor. It's called an extractor now. So that's why there's nothing in there. You know, crude oil, and it says how much you need. 3 meters cubed, and it uses 2 meters cubed. I don't know. It's a bunch of new formulas or ratios to work with. So that'll be nice. That'll be fun. So let's check the recipes here. Plastic. I don't know what that means exactly. Oh, I think that means it gives a byproduct. There it is. Byproduct. A byproduct of plastic and rubber production can be further refined into fuel and petroleum coke. Fuel is just pretty much just making that the liquid, and the petroleum coke is this right here. It's like coal. Carbon-rich material distilled from heavy oil residue. So you'd have to take that'll come out here. Let me just remove that. Doesn't matter. That'll come out here, and you'd have to pretty much manage it somehow. Send it somewhere else where it'll be processed into. I think it'll have to go into another refinery, and hopefully it doesn't make another byproduct into another refinery, and then that will make that. So I think there's nothing else to make with that residue, with that, what is it called? Heavy oil residue, that thing. I think there's nothing else that it'll make besides the petroleum coke. What else we got here? The aluminum scrap makes a aluminum scrap plus water makes the alumina solution, makes that, and then that makes silica. And this makes whatever that is. Byproduct of refinement. I don't know what that is. Residual fuel converted into electricity or as fuel for vehicles. I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of new things in this update. You got a new this whole byproduct system thing that you gotta manage of things coming out, because I'm guessing that if you just have it simply like this, and it's you know, it's bringing in what it needs, the oil, the liquid over there, and it's only taking out the main product. I'm guessing it'll eventually clog up here with the byproduct, and if it fills up, I guess it'll stop. I guess things like that is how that works. So I know there's a lot of things. There's a bunch more things to say, to mention, or whatnot. But this is like the main thing. The main thing is that a lot of recipes have changed. Either an item has been removed from the recipe or switched out for another one, or their ratios or the amount you need to make it has been changed from the previous update to this one. So that requires a lot of changing with a lot of changes need to be made to your factories, to optimize and things like that. But before you start optimizing, you need to figure out if things have byproducts. You're gonna have to figure out how to manage that and how to bring it around into another refinery to work with the refined byproduct that gives the heavy oil residue, something like that, and things like that. Or you can, I don't know if it's possible. I haven't checked it out. I haven't tried it. It's something I need to see. If even though since the nuclear power plant has a byproduct, the nuclear waste, which you can't just delete. I didn't really read the option because I didn't want it in my inventory, but I think it just told you that you couldn't do it, and that, well, you have to figure something out to deal with it. I don't know if with the byproducts like of these other stuff over here, I don't know if you can just probably send those to the coupon, the awesome sink, to get rid of it. You know, just all the byproducts that you don't want them, but they'll probably be useful in one way or another. Like the petroleum coke, like I think they said it was a coal alternative, and maybe you can use that to make turbo fuel or something, because you would need the fuel, and then you need coal. I don't know if it's coal or enriched coal that you need, or compacted coal, to make the turbo fuel. But hey, that's just one idea. Maybe it's not correct, but I'll probably look into it. But anyways, that's gonna be all for now. I'm not gonna continue looking into the stuff that has been broken, because a lot of things have been broken, like the cold generator, since it needs water, it's no longer functioning. These require liquid, that's why they're no longer functioning, so my power grid's off. Um, Items have been changed in the recipes, the ratios, that's why probably a lot of my factories are no longer functioning. So that's another thing. That's why there's no crude oil here, because that's now liquid, so it's not going to be transported on a conveyor belt and things like that. So in the next episode, we're going to be checking out the new. Right now it's experimental area, starting area. I think it's called Dusty Dunes, as I said before. We're going to be testing. We're going to be looking into that. In the next episode, just pretty much starting fresh. I'm gonna change up the way I do things now, because I'm gonna need a whole lot more room. But I'm thinking about using a system similar to this. Probably no longer that factory system that I use over there. Maybe something just on the ground, or just something that elevates like as a balcony, and it just goes up, like to have things going up like similar to this, and then coming out down this way, and then main products or byproducts are gonna go out like on a conveyor belt. Maybe just one conveyor belt like this, and then it just splits off into like its container, or maybe multiple conveyor belts doing that. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I've got to look into it, but it most likely will not be anything like this anymore. So yes, see you on the next one. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you liked the episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.